Hi everybody at illustration.org. My name is Calvin. I am a sculptor concept designer. I run my own model kit business, Impulse Refinery, and this is me. I really started sculpting when I was introduced to George Rochel's work. Uh, I heard about him through Jared Moran's class, and I took a look at his website, and gosh, everything in there was so awesome. It was just so inspiring, and when he offered a class, I jumped on that right away, and that's when I really started. I heard about Art Center when I was about middle school, and nothing but good stuff, of course. So, and I heard that it was pretty much the best design school out there. So, when I got into high school, uh, I that's all I wanted to do was to get into Art Center. So, that's actually when I took art pretty seriously. Was in high school, and they offered this program called Saturday High, and it's still going on. And I took classes there, and there was this one teacher named Tony Yao, and he would do these really elaborate presentations for his class. And I thought, gosh, that's a class to get into. So that's what I did. And that's all product design stuff, by the way. And so I went on to Art Center after that, after high school, pretty much straight on, and into product design department. And I was there for about 4 terms. And after fourth term, I kind of took a year off, do some soul searching, and traveled around. Went to Europe and Asia. And after that, I was like, product design is not really what I wanted to do. It doesn't really get my creativity going. Um, and I've always wanted to do entertainment design, but I just never thought that I could. So after that trip, I came back and I saw CDA's ad at our center, and I decided to take a class and see how it went. The only class that had space at the time was Creature Design by Jared. So I took it, and the rest was history. And after CDA, gosh, I took so many classes there. After that, I went around to different schools such as Three Kicks, LAFA, just taking up all sorts of art classes I could take to catch up to those friends of mine that are doing incredible entertainment design work at our center. And I never felt the need to go back to our center because of all these great schools that are offering classes for much cheaper. Gosh, and I saw, like I was saying before, Simon's website, and that led me to sculpting. It's really my journey, I guess. I would say I'm most inspired by the movies I saw as a kid. Uh, I really most of the time is Stan Winston's studios works, things such as Aliens, and Jurassic Park. That was probably my first movie memory that I can remember. Shows like Tales from the Crypt. I remember being a kid, curled up on the bed with my mother and my brother, waiting for the new episode of Tales from the Crypt to come on, and gosh, that was probably the most inspirational show to me ever. Um, that show actually still stands today. I'm still watching that all the time. Um, I'd say that's probably my biggest influence, Tales from the Crypt. Daily routine. Yes. My day routines are, I try to be really regimented about this. I'd wake up early, around 10, 9 or 10, when I start sketching away. Um, Actually, a lot of times, uh, like the day before at night, I close my eyes and I'll start seeing creatures in my head. And in the morning, um, probably most of the time I forget half of it, but I try to sketch away at some of the things I do remember. And um, after about 2 hours of that, come straight to my studio, start sculpting away. Um, Try to sculpt till nighttime, go to sleep, wake up in the morning, same thing over again. My ideal working situation, I find myself working in my room all the time with a TV on, and I'll throw on shows, movies, whatever that would be inspirational. A lot of times, National Geographic's, History Channel, Discovery Channel. Those are all great for trivial information. So I can have a visual um, thing in the background. I try not to pay attention to it a lot, but subconsciously it'll be there. Other times I'd blast music. I'd still have the TV on. Um, Other times I'd work at a coffee shop with people around me, or at a friend's studio with other sculptors or artists, and start having a sculpting jam session, basically. The project that I've worked on that I'm most proud of, I'd have to say, hands down, Pacific Rim. Um, I was an assistant at Simon Lee's studio, and Pacific Rim, the project came in. I've never done any of the design works in there, but just having a helping hand in it, gosh, that's way more than enough for me. The projects that I'm working on right now, I'm doing a couple of personal projects. One is a project that I call Albarabi, and I'm still trying to figure out the whole story of Albarabi. But Albarabi is basically a city that a fleet of alien refugees have started living in amongst humans, and it's somewhere in the similar lines of Men in Black and District 9. My other project is my own visions of hell. I'm doing a lot of demons and sceneries for that piece, or for that whole world that I'm trying to create. Those are the two biggest projects I'm working on right now. Jared, Jared Morantz, um, he's mentored me since day one. He's so into teaching. Anytime I have a question, he'd answer it right away. Ever since the first day of class, he gave us his email and told us never to hesitate to call him. So I didn't. He's my biggest mentor, and then Simon Lee. He's taught me everything I know about sculpting. Uh, he's a big influence. He's a great teacher. Those are the two, I'd say. My goals that I'm working towards, um, I'd say, is to see my my designs on the big screen, and getting my work seen by more people, and try to do things my way. I guess never compromise with my style and design. Um, those are really my goals. What really gets my juices going are basically everyday life stuff. I get inspirations from all around me. Um, I'd look at a fire hydrant, or a dumpster or something, and I'd see a creature out of it. Um, and gosh, right away I'd go home and start busting out the clay and really get that down. I don't want that to go out of my mind. So basically everything. And also, I play a lot of video games, watch a lot of movies and shows. And yeah, those all give me inspiration. And of course, looking at other great artists. Um, Gosh, there's so many out there. Um, the inspiration just never stops. Creativity just keeps going. I actually never find myself um, in a situation where I have an artist block, and I don't think anybody should. As I've said before, I get inspirations from everywhere, and there's inspirations all around us. Flowers, bees, ants. There's all kinds of things to be inspired by. Um, don't ever limit yourself to inspirations. I mean, try to have an open mind. So there's really no excuse for having artist block. My dream project, gosh, I've been looking forward to working on something bigger, like life size. Um, so I'm really trying to work that into my schedule. Eventually, I'll get to something life size, and that'll be my dream to see something 1-to-1 scale in that kind of massiveness. You know, I've been drawing and painting all my life ever since I was a kid, so it really took me my whole life, I would say. My design process, I would describe my design process similar to a kid or anybody seeing things out of clouds, seeing shapes. That's exactly what I do in clay. When I see shapes and things that are very unique and original and cool, I would like right away try to pull that out and keep that feel in the sculpt. Uh, that's really how I design. That's part of it. There's also other processes that I have for designing, but I'd say for the most part, it's like seeing things out of clouds and unique shapes. My personal taste, that's really hard to say because I try to like everything, just so I'm not so closed-minded and one-directional. Um, but I have similar taste to Simon Lee. We both, I find myself, we often like the same stuff um, in terms of art or video games or movies. Um, Things that are very um, visceral, I guess is the right word. Things that are very eerie and odd and just weird. Favorite blogs. I look at a lot of artists' blogs. There is this one Greek sculptor that I constantly look at. His name is Eris. Uh, I do not want to pronounce his last name because I know I am wrong. But you guys will find that information in the text section of this video, of this post, I suppose. And also, I look at this one blog called Pink Tentacles, and this blog, they talk about a lot of Japanese mythical creatures and all sorts of odd stories, and that stuff really gets my juices going as well. And for those of you that haven't seen that blog yet, um, you have to check it out. Social networking sites. I recently got into Facebook because everybody told me to. And I'm posting, I started posting a lot on sculptural forums, sites like Clubhouse, um, Shiflet's sculpting forums, DeviantArt, um, CG Hub. Those are all great networking sites, and there's so many awesome art there. Yes, I do have a blog. I try to update it as much as I can, but I do get busy sometimes. But from now on, I will post all the time. My blog is called theimpulserefinery.com, and please check it out, guys. My advice is to never give up, to always follow your dream, especially if you have a parents that could afford your living style. Just don't compromise. I mean, you never want to find yourself in situations. I've seen so many people that are in their 30s and 40s that are just starting to get into art, and they've lost all that time before because they needed to live, I guess. But if you have, if you're lucky enough, um, just keep following your passion. Um, you'll get there eventually. There'll be plenty of chances, and with a little bit of luck, you will achieve your goal. At the end of the day, guys, um, whatever your jobs are, don't ever uh, don't ever stop doing your own personal work. Um, you That's really your voice. At the end of the day, when all is done, your life is over. You want to have a body of work that's of your own, that people could look at in the future and know that that's you, like completely 100%. I think that's my final advice to everybody.